Hello everyone. It's James again. And today, I want to talk about how a society or a world rather can be completely and utterly mind controlled. So those that are doing the brainwashing can get their subjects to do and believe whatever they want them to do and believe. First of all, why would anyone want to brainwash a society or a world? Well, we must first ask ourselves. Why would a mother or father want to brainwash their children with a false sense of their worth and how to properly function in society? And the reason why we must ask ourselves this is this very thing happens every day. And for those of you that don't know what narcissistic abuse and narcissistic brainwashing is, or at least when a parent does this to their children, this is where the parent gaslights their own children to believe certain things never took place, and certain things were never said. All in the name of making this child lose their mind and own sanity. They also isolate this child by the way of embarrassment and smear campaigns to make sure the only person in their life is the narcissistic parent that is acting like the puppet master. They also convince this child their role is to serve the parent in any way they see fit, even if that means giving up important things in their own lives. Because the only thing that is important is the life of the narcissist parent or parents. And this is carefully molded and shaped into the victim's mind and very essence. So they know nothing to be true other than what the narcissist parent or parents say is true. And why would such a parent want to do this to their children? Because I thought all parents loved their children, right? Well, not all parents do. And that's the problem. Some parents have no empathy or the ability to feel sorry for the pain they cause others. And here's the main problem in all of this. They feed on the pain they cause others, like getting a hit of drugs, to the point where they are constantly needing to create scenarios and situations that are traumatic for their children in order to feed off the pain and despair their children feel. And this is why the brainwashing is so important for the narcissist parent. To keep their child from getting up and leaving and creating a life for themselves away from the narcissist. To never talk to the narcissist again. Because if this happens, the narcissist will miss out on its drug of choice. Narcissistic supply. Now the narcissist will try to get it elsewhere. But it's much better if they can have such a reliable source on hand at all times. Well, I have news for you. Those that run this earth are exactly like a narcissistic parent. Except they might be worse, in my opinion. And they do what they do to control others for their own financial gain and gain of watching others suffer and be in pain. This is how they are able to get away with in plain sight of doing the worst of the worst and still having those that blindly follow them, and the lockdown of society. Many of their subjects take on the role of the golden child, which is the son or daughter of the narcissist that feels that going along with the narcissist is better than going against. Because if you go against the narcissist, your life is made to be a living hell. However, if you go along with being locked down and what the narcissist wants, you get perks, or what seem to be perks, and better treatment. While though the scapegoat seems to be getting the worse end of the stick at the time, they at the end of the day stand a better chance of escaping and finding help to heal from the damage caused to them. Whereas the golden child's life ends up sinking to the bottom of the ocean right along with the narcissist parent. This treatment is why you see so many people in society fighting to take away free speech, taking away rights for one to protect oneself, and to have a complete lockdown world and society. And how this is done is through trauma-based abuse. You see, rulers of the world even in ancient times realized one important thing. The best way to develop a brainwashed army that will support them no matter if they are completely nuts in their thinking and they are completely wrong, is to actually ruin society and make it all seem like happenstance or an accident. Because narcissists oftentimes do things in the shadows, so their hand never seems to be directly on all the bad things that happen around them. And by ruining society, it's a way of taking from the youth of a particular generation healthy parenting. Both a mother and father able to guide their child through life. You see, as we get older and wiser, we are able to see the scams of life. We are able to see what's important and what's not. And this is information that can be passed down to children, so though they will still make mistakes, they have something to reference back to. I often talk about how many people will watch my videos regarding what narcissists do. Like fake friends. Or people you might be dating and the like. And they will come back and comment and say, "Oh my God. That person said word for word what you said they were going to say." Now they can rethink if this person is a real friend or not. And get away from them if they aren't. So they aren't wasting time with someone that's not productive for their life. Which is the goal of giving wise advice. So the person getting this information can move forward and become successful in life in general. Well, those that want to have this society of brainwashed people want to stunt this emotional and mental growth of the youth to make this happen. Because they know if they do that, even when they are adults, their minds will be stuck back in the time their traumas took place. Take a look around for a moment. The cornerstone of any and all societies, besides faith, is family. And over the past decades, family has eroded into a complete and utter mess. And when those speak up to have things changed that can help out this problem, they are attacked like the scapegoat. And they are often attacked by those that have taken on the role of the golden child. Attacking like a pit bull for the narcissistic parent. In this case, those that run this world. Now, if having healthy families is so important to have a healthy society, why would decade after decade happen with healthy families from all races, colors and creeds go on the decline? And those that run this earth not step in and say, "Hey, wait a minute. We need to rethink these laws and social norms." Well, the reason why they don't is there's a very good chance they are the ones engineering such chaos. And why are they doing that? Because they know the children that are born out of such broken homes are easy to brainwash. They are easy to gaslight. They are easy to convince the sky is green when it's blue. And they are easy to turn into the puppet master's attack dogs. And it's all done in the name of the puppet masters gaining more wealth, while even their attack dogs remain poor. And it's also for the puppet masters to enjoy how they have such control over society. And how it's in utter chaos due to their manipulation. Which gives them a rush like no other. It gives them hit after hit of narcissistic supply. You see, all of these things in society are meant to be seen as different issues, when they are for the same agenda. And that's to create those that will think as they want them to think. And those that will do as they want them to do. This is very hard to accomplish when you have parents raising their children telling them the truth. First, they make it so you have to have two parents working in order to support a household and pay all the bills and the expensive mortgage they have. Most people spend about 10% of their time with their kids. Most of their time is dedicated to work and school and sleep to recover to do it all over again. And when these children are little, if you don't have a grandmother or father that can watch the children, you have to leave them at daycare. And pray nothing bad will happen to your children in the process. And because such little time is spent with the family that has been made, both the mother and father in this situation, assuming they are together, will have an increased chance of cheating on one another, which is encouraged by society's norms. Because most people start off their marriages with trauma bonding, which I will talk about more later. But we are told that when dating, you better not cheat on me or else. But when couples get married, they each go out separately to parties with the goal of cheating on one another. And then use gaslighting to convince each other and themselves it didn't really happen. Which creates this weird dynamic now in such relationships. So you are now unconsciously willing to accept that your spouse has cheated. Especially if it's hard to prove, though you know in the back of your mind it really happened. And I will say, though men and women are just as bad morally on this issue, the difference is that there are far more social norms surrounding the male accepting this behavior from the woman. Not saying people-pleasing women aren't brainwashed to accept this behavior, because they are. But we in society have girls' night out, girls' trips, girls' this and that, Keep in mind this was created too by the puppet masters. And because this trauma bonding took place on both sides. Both the man and woman doing evil to each other. When such events happen. Like. I'm going with the girls to Vegas for the weekend. The man will quickly say. I trust her. It's all about trust. When in reality she is more than likely going to Vegas to relive her bachelorette party that happened a few years before. But it's all gaslighting. They both gaslight each other. And they both gaslight themselves. That what happened really didn't happen. And that they have a happy life. Meanwhile there is a child or children growing up in all of this. Now adding to another piece of the puzzle. Divorce is become big business for those that write the laws. The lawyers that represent their clients. And the courts that accept the paperwork. They've also made it a losing business deal for those that have the most money. That's why I've talked about the hypocrisy of hypergamy. This is even successful women marry up. It's not because they desire the most successful mate because they are hardwired that way. It's because many understand what marriage and divorce really is. Much like the golden child and scapegoat. Either you are a winner or loser. Either you are a golden child or scapegoat. Now it's important to point out. There are women that get caught up in this dynamic too. They trust a man even though he's making less. And they don't realize he's a scam artist narcissist. And bam! She loses it all. But society wants us to gaslight ourselves and fight about the fact about who is doing what and why. The fact is. It goes back to the top. Those that run society could have very easily made it so men could screw over women. But they didn't. Because they know how society works. They felt the best bang for their buck in order to get a hold of your children. Was to favor women in regards of divorces and custody rights. And now this trauma-bonded couple with dysfunctional children are headed for divorce. And money that could have been spent on this child is now going in the hands of greedy lawyers and the state. And in the process more trauma happens to both the man and woman. And most importantly the children. And if these children buy into the gaslighting they've already been subjected to, they are ripe to fall for the gaslighting and lies waiting for them at school. And college if they make it that far. They end up becoming the golden children of the puppet masters and those that run society. Think. I want you to think. What if today Hollywood started to put out pro-family movies? And those that write our laws said, we have a big problem here with in regards to family laws and divorces. If they said, we have no more right to mess in your relationships. But if you choose not to be together and there is an argument over money and property, these matters will be dealt with fairly. Here's a great example. A woman meets a rich basketball player after a game. She was hanging around hoping to meet him. They met and 6 months later they got married. And 10 years later after that, they got a divorce. There was cheating and drug use on both sides. So both were at fault. Who gets the house and cars? Well, Miss So-and-so. Did you buy any of this stuff? No. Did you run up and down the court to earn the money to buy this stuff? No. Okay, you're not getting anything then. Except the divorce you seek. Now let's say she wasn't at fault but he was. Miss So-and-so. Though you're not at fault. I can't order you to have the home as you didn't pay for it. Nor does he owe you to live in this lifestyle forever. But what we will do is order payment for you to attend college. And have reasonable housing while this is taking place. So you can have a chance to earn a living for yourself. This is only if people are fighting over money and stuff when a relationship ends. How much you want to bet? Divorces would go down? Relationships will no longer be seen as a lottery to win. And how to take down someone else? It will be for only those seeking to have a real family. This would make sense, right? Well, ask yourself, why is it turned into a winner and loser game? A lottery of sorts? It's because those that write our laws knows it will result in broken children. And any money that could benefit such children will get eaten up by the court system. So they are taking this child's financial future. And they have a chance to brainwash this child all in one shot. This is pure and utter evil. Now why is this important? Because there are some young people going along with evil to a degree, but they haven't completely given themselves over to it. Why? Because they feel something is wrong. They can't put their finger on it. They know something is messed up but they don't know what. And that's how the system was designed. It was made up in compartments. So all of the things that are wrong with our society seem and appear to be completely different issues, when in fact they are part of the big plan. It's all narcissistic trauma-based pain caused at an early age in order to create the group of people they want, the loyal followers they need. Because there will always be scapegoats and there will always be golden children. But our society seems to have a lot more of this out in the open. And they don't even realize what they are, and what has been done to them. I bet many of these people deep down inside wish they had more time with their parents. I bet many of these people wish their parents never split up. I bet many of these people had horrible traumas that occurred to them in the daycare system. I bet many of these people didn't have someone love them and ask them about who and what they wanted to be in life. This is a purposeful system, ladies and gentlemen. A system that wants you to fight so the puppet masters get their hit after hit of narcissistic supply. And so they can have society on utter lockdown. But where they can run free and do as they wish. In their minds. Freedom is for them. It's not for you. And it's not for me. At least that's what they think and believe. And the only way they can get people in society to go along with this cause is trauma-based mind control and brainwashing. And after they have done this for a couple of generations, they have a complete army of individuals that are in a complete fog that won't listen to logic or reason. But there are a few. There are a few that know something's wrong. That's why content is important. It gives the person a chance to examine the horrible things that happen to themselves and sort themselves out properly. How they can undo what was done to them. One by one. Person by person. Asking themselves why? Why do I think the way I do? And is it healthy? And once truths are discovered and such a person starts the process of self-discovery, it's over for the puppet masters. Because one by one, people become healthy and they start cutting the strings. And they start having healthy lives. And they start having healthy families, which is indeed possible. Despite what society tries to tell you. Because once you stop buying into the evil that is being rammed down your throat day in and day out, you as a man or woman can start to enjoy life. And that's a wonderful thing. So I ask you to watch videos regarding narcissistic abuse. Regardless if it's a spouse doing horrible things to their loved one. Or videos talking about growing up and being raised by a narcissistic parent. And then I want you to compare it to what you see happening on this earth. And how those that make our laws and run our world treat us. And I think you will not only see similarities, but that it's one and the same. And if you are able to see that, you are able to take the same steps of healing from this world that individuals use to heal from a narcissist mother or father. Well, that's all I have for now. I hope your day is blessed. Until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.